Welcome to Module 2 of the Self-Determination Leadership course. Once again, my name is Luke Barber, and with me is
Tyler Hannigan. Before we begin today, we would like to remind you about you emailing in your self-portrait drawings. We are very interested in seeing them. Just a reminder of this activity, it was to draw a portrait of ourselves and write down an example of at least 2 strengths from each category: mental abilities, physical abilities, personal qualities, interpersonal abilities, and specific skills and talents.
Please email us a photo of your self-portrait to luke.barber@esmw.org or tyler.hannigan@esmw.org. Now that we know our strengths and weaknesses, let's move on and speak about rights, rules, and responsibilities and what that means for us as people.
As we begin speaking about this, what does the word freedom mean?
Freedom means the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The freedom to do things, to make choices, and to live as we all choose comes responsibility.
That's very good. What does responsibility mean?
When we speak about the word responsibility, it means the state of having a duty to deal with something or having control over someone. Living life with responsibility is a very important factor to successful living. We must think about others and how our actions affect them. We must advocate for our needs, for ourselves, and most importantly, take responsibility as a human is to do what's right even when no one is looking. That is why, with our rights and responsibilities, rules are also important. Rules help us to understand what we need to do to keep our rights. Rules are defined as a set of explicit or understood regulations or principles that govern conduct within an action.
What happens when we don't follow the rules?
We receive a consequence for our choice, a punishment. However, consequences should be natural and logical. For example, if I touched a hot stove, my natural and logical consequence would be that I would burn my hand.
What about rights?
Rights are rules that help make people equal. It is defined as morally good, justified, or acceptable. It is important for us to understand that there are 2 types of rights. They are human rights and legal rights. Human rights are rights that encompass all humanity. They can never be taken away. An example of these are the right to be treated with dignity and not to be abused, the right to pursue happiness and to choose to live in harmony, the right to be free. Legal rights are rights that are given to us by groups or individuals that have authority over our lives. We have the right to live in a free society, but if we break the law, then our freedom can be taken away. What kind of legal rights would be different if we had a legal guardian?
Take the time now and discuss your rights and responsibilities and the importance of rules with a family member, friend, or direct support team member. Also discuss how your rights are different or not if you have a legal guardian or other means of support. You may pause this video now. When we speak about our rights under guardianship, guardians assist individuals. If an individual has a legal guardian, legal rights are somewhat different, but human rights have not changed. When a person has full guardianship, it means that they are supported with an advocate on behalf of people who need assistance with making daily decisions.
What are some decisions in which a guardian would assist an individual with?
Where to live, whether to marry or not, whether to work or not, how to spend income and with whom to associate with, whether or not to vote, enter contracts, assisting with medical care, and many other things that I haven't even mentioned. With those rights come responsibilities. When we speak about the word responsibility, it means the state or fact of having a duty to deal with something or having control over someone. What is an example of a responsibility?
Living life with responsibility is a very important factor to successful living. We must think about others and how our actions affect them. We must advocate our needs for ourselves, and most importantly, taking responsibility as a human is to do what's right even when no one is looking. What are responsibilities that we have as individuals? An example of this is In the area of our daily life and employment, we have the right to control our own personal money. With that comes responsibility. How we manage our finances. Do I spend my money frivolously, or do I make wise choices with my money? We have the responsibility to pay our debts and bills on time, and to be a smart consumer. What does it mean to be a smart consumer?
Being a smart consumer is when you educate yourself about a product before you purchase so you can make the best informed decision.
What about the right to have our own things?
We have the responsibility to be responsible in taking care of our things and the responsibility to use our property for good and not for negative acts. Discuss these rights and responsibilities with your family, friend, or direct support team member. You may pause the video now. What about rights in regards to living in a community?
Living in the community, which is defined as where I live, how I live, and how I get around town, it results in healthy living, both mentally and physically. When we say that we have the right to live in a safe and clean home, does that mean that we just sit there and let everyone wait on us hand and foot like servants? Absolutely not. With that right is the responsibility to do things like clean up after ourselves, to clean our house, to keep our things straight.
What happens if we cannot do all these things on our own?
We ask for help. We ask that someone would either assist us with performing the task, teach us with performing the task, or support us with doing it for us because we are not physically able.
Why is it important to share with others what makes us feel safe and how they can help us achieve this goal?
It's important because no matter where you live or who you live with, we all deserve to feel safe and have people to help us when we need it.
When we speak about the right of social and spirituality, we speak about friendships, relationships, leisure activities, personal networks, and being a part of faith communities, and even the choice to live privately. For example, we have the right to spend time with whoever we want as long as it is a mutual decision between both people. This relationship is regardless of gender, sexual orientation, or sexual preference. What responsibilities do we have when we interact with others?
We have the responsibility to treat others with respect. We do not have to be friends with or even have a relationship with all people in regards to friendship, but every person has the right to be treated with respect. This respect goes both ways, for ourselves and others. When we interact with others, we should always observe people's personal space. For example, what are some things that we should ask permission from others before doing?
We should ask to hug someone before hugging them, touching them, or even moving into their personal space. Everyone, extend your arm out. The area within your arm's reach is your personal space. Why is it important for us to be able to have the ultimate say about our health, or even to make simple appointments to see a doctor? What about even to refuse treatment?
It's important because having the ability to seek medical treatment and to oversee how we are treated is our personal right. But just like the other rights that we have spoken about, we do have responsibilities. We do have the responsibility to let others know when we are not feeling well and when we need medical assistance. We have the responsibility to make sure that we not only attend our doctor's appointments, but also not miss them when they are scheduled. And yes, we do have the right to schedule our own appointments that fit into our schedule and needs. When we are with the doctor, we have the responsibility to speak freely, openly, and honestly in regards to how we are feeling and our medical treatment needs. We have the right to know what is written in our medical records and to have someone explain them to us in a manner that we will understand.
Everyone has the right to feel safe. Everyone has the right to privacy and respect. What are some things that make you feel unsafe? Take the time now and discuss this with your family, friend, or direct support team member. You may pause this video now. When we feel unsafe, our feelings are real. This is why we must know what we must do to put ourselves in a position to advocate for our needs. We have the right to privacy and safety in our homes, and to expect people to knock and ask for permission before entering our room or home. Well, what would be our responsibility if we have the right to expect to be treated this way?
We have the responsibility to treat people the same as we would want to be treated. We also respect other people's privacy and ask permission before entering someone's personal space. This, along with other actions, go both ways for an orderly society.
As a citizen and a human being, we have the right to try any task, to do any occupation, to serve in community groups, to advocate for ourselves and others, and to accept help when others advocate for us. With those rights, we have the responsibility to be open and honest with our advocates, to share our goals and needs. When we are part of a group, we have the responsibility to behave as a positive member. We should also contribute with our actions to assist the group to achieve the planned goals.
All the information that we just went over now came from the Knowing Your Rights Handbook, published by the Department of Human Services here in Missouri. This book can be found in your notebook. It looks like this. The bottom line is that we can learn from today is that it is important that we must know our rights, but we must also know the responsibilities we have as people.
Looking to our next module, we will take a deeper look at communication, specifically about speaking and also what it means to be an effective listener and connecting with people. On behalf of Luke and myself, thank you for joining us today. See you next class.